Hello and welcome back to Ganesh Institute channel. So in today's video we are going to discuss about theories and approaches of management. Okay, so let's take up one by one all the theories which are there for management. So first one is Taylor's theory of scientific management. Basically, this theory talks about the scientific management that any organization can increase its labor productivity and economic efficiency. How? By using scientific management. That means by evaluating, by using those principles so as to evaluate workflow of the organization. So this is what this theory talks about. So just find out what are the ways in which we can check the workflow of the organization so that we can find out the loopholes. We can use scientific management so that to increase the labor productivity and economic efficiency. Okay. Next up, Fayol's administrative theory. It is propounded by a famous management person who is Henry Fayol. He introduced 14 principles of management. Okay, these are very important. Like 14 principles, let's start from division of work. So there should be management should divide the work, allocate the work, and every person should know what he or she is supposed to do. Then there should be authority and responsibility given to the people by the management who will be accountable for what. Then there must be discipline to have management, because without discipline nothing is possible, right? Then unity of command. Let's say if a boss is assigned to you, like a supervisor or a guide, then you should follow the command of that person, otherwise things will not be coordinated, right? Then unity of direction. Also it is important that whatever things are instructed to you, you follow them. Then it is important to think about company's interest first rather than the own personal interest. Let's say, so what is it? Subordination of individual interest. This is the sixth principle given by him. Then next is remuneration. Obviously, to motivate someone, you need to compensate his or her work, be it with monetary things, monetary advances, or some rewards. Correct? So remuneration should be there. Then centralization should be there in management, that everybody should know that this is the top management and this company belongs to that particular person. Centralization is somewhat also necessary apart from the hierarchy or decentralization. Then scalar chain. So scalar chain is something which we just talk about, decentralization, that means hierarchy. Who is the manager of whom? Then we have order. Order of work should be clear, that you know after this particular work what should be done. So order should be there in order to get the clarity, in order to have coordination and management of work. Okay. Then we have equity. Every person is equal and should be given equal attention so that we can have egalitarian management system. Then stability should be there, you know, the security that yes, our jobs are secured if we do the right work. So job security also need to be given by the management. Then initiative. So initiative should be taken by the people, the management, for the benefits of the people. And then there is the last principle, which is esprit de corps in his language. So basically what does it mean is, if you want positive outcomes, from the management. If you want that positive work environment, positive outcomes, then you have to build trust and mutual understanding so that these things can be made. So management is about these 14 principles according to Henry Fayol. Okay. Next is Max Weber bureaucracy theory. So what does this theory state is like we should have a systematic framework in an organization so that if that functions in a systematic way, then we can have effectiveness in our processes, we can have efficiency in the outputs which we can get, right? So how we can have this? By systematic framework, that means hierarchy. When we will have hierarchical form of defined levels of management in an organization, then we can have effectiveness and efficiency. This theory talks about that. Okay, bureaucracy, that means level of management. Next is Hawthorne Experiments. Basically, what this experiment is all about, which was conducted in around 1920s, it discovered that laborers, the people who are working under someone, they are extremely responsible extremely responsive towards what attention they are getting. Okay, so it is all about the behavior of laborers, that laborers are extremely responsive towards the attention given to them. Okay, and by whom? It's not that by their colleagues, but their managers. And why it is that they are responsible towards managers' attention? Because this make them feel like that managers care for them, managers show interest in them, and it gives them the sense of belongingness. So what is it about sense of belongingness? And this sense of belongingness in laborers due to their manager's attention can help in advocate that yes, they have to work hard. They have to ensure that productivity is there in the organization, right? So, though we know there are extrinsic motivation factors like social incentives and all those labor unions and all, but the more productivity can be ensured if they can have sense of belongingness. This is about Hawthorne experiments. Okay, so system theory talks about that any organization is equivalent to a system which is made up of fixed capitals like machine, technology, and human capital, right? Now this is the inner environment of the organization. It is surrounded by the external environment. So when there is a direct impact of environment, then that organization or system can be considered as an open system. And if there is negligible impact of environment or there is no impact of environment, then we can say it is closed. For example, at the moment in COVID times, some of the IT industries, in fact most of the people are working from home. But do you think it is feasible for logistic department to work from home? No, right? So when you have something like field work which gets impacted by the environment, let's say lockdown, so that is something which is open system, and when you are not that much impacted by the environment, then it will be a closed system. Okay, next theory is about chaos theory. So basically it relates management with mathematical science. How? By using some of the mathematical terminologies. Let's see. So it is linking mathematical science with management. Okay, so let's say you must have heard about linear system. Linear means a straight line. Here what they are using in chaos theory is non-linear system and dynamic system. So system we have already talked about, right? An organization which is having inner surroundings like machines, environment, and people. Dynamism is something which is keep changing every now and then, and situations change in the management, right? We can't say that one sort of management will be applicable for everything. No, we have to change our strategies. And non-linear in that sense, where there is not only one variable which is impacting the environment, the system. There are more than one variables. There may be the surroundings, there may be suppliers, buyers. There are so many things which can impact the management. So this is about chaos theory. Okay, so uh, this theory is just about how we can regulate the patterns of work when there is an organization and there are chaos inside and outside. So we have to facilitate the changes accordingly. Okay, next is contingency theory. So obviously this is about contingency, situational based approach. So this is also called as situational approach of management. Here, as I just said, that you can't say whatever we have been following, we had been following before COVID time, we can have same sort of management these days also. No, right? So we have to apply our management rule, because this theory states that one size does not fit to all, right? This is so much applicable. So one size does not fit to all. So that means we have to shift our strategies accordingly, whatever the behaviors, the interaction or situations we are getting. So whenever there is a manager, that manager must change his behavior or her behavior and decisions on the basis of the situations, the circumstances. This theory states that. Okay. Next is behavioral management theory. So as the name signifies, it is about behavior. That means, see, we humans, when we are having management, we can't consider a human being as machine, that we order that person and that person needs to follow it blindly. No, it's not that. Correct. You have to, because this is like, an organization is also a social system. Human beings are there and they know the technicality. There are physical compliances, so capital is there, but in order to make that person able to do that work, it is important to understand that person's belief, values, attitudes, because if you know about that, you will be able to increase the productivity and efficiency of the organization, right? So this is about behavioral management theory. Next is what we have got is human relation approach. So it was given by Elton Mayo. What this theory is about is like, you have to maintain or build relationships. Like you can't say that this thing needs to be done and it will be done. Yes, of course, management is something in which we get our employees do the things, like things will be done by our employees, and we have to make things done through the people. But do you think that it is that much easy, that you just order, you treat people like machines and don't know about their behaviors and it will be done? No, it is important, even if you are in the workplace, to know about interpersonal relations, to build, to learn about interpersonal relations between what the individuals, the colleagues, the people who are working under you, and the surrounding, the workplace. Correct. So this is about human relation approach. So these are few theories which we just studied regarding management. I hope you have understood this topic, and if so, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. Till my next video, take care of yourself. Bye bye.